guys, welcome back to my channel, Kat's Gardening, Kitchen, and More. Today I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about gardening. And you might wonder why I want to talk to you about gardening in January. And the reason being is because of the fact that we got to get things set and ready. So, for instance, you want to make a list of the things you need. In order to know what you need, you want to go through your stuff. I do a lot of things from seed. I do buy some plants, but the majority of what I do is by seed. So what I want to do is, I have this container with something I got from Costco that I had. Came with some luncheon meat in it, and it worked perfect for this. So inside of this, let me move this out of the way for a second, and then we'll talk about this in a minute. I have all of my seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and pull them all out. And I've got paper clips on them, so I've got my different types of carrots. Right here I've got rainbow mix, and I've got an organic rainbow mix. So it just really varies on what you like to grow will be what you have. Here I've got the regular carrots, so they go with that. I've got radishes, beets, I've got two different kinds of onions. These are slicing sandwich type onions. I've got a purple and a yellow. So I take all of my stuff and I'm going to categorize them out. So I can see what I have. And these are different tags and stuff that I've saved. Clean that out. Okay. So, based off of what I have in here, and I do save seeds, and I do buy seeds, so I do a little bit of both. I go off and I make a list. And so I've made a list of what I need. So here's what I have. Now I need to know what I need. I need onion sets. I need snap peas because I don't have any peas. I need seed potatoes. I need lettuce, spinach. I need some more oregano and some other herbs. I need a seed starting mix. I need potting mix to refresh my pots out on the porch. And I need soil for amending the garden. I also I grew for the first time last year some banana peppers, and I really enjoyed that. And I grew for the first time Cherokee purple tomatoes, and oh my gosh, those are so delicious, and I enjoyed that. So I want to do that again. So that's just some things that I need. The other thing that I did is I made a drawing, kind of a sketch. I have two different garden areas. I live in an apartment, and I have this little tiny spot down below my porch. And then I share a garden with my in-laws, and so I mapped out how I wanted it planted this year. So that is what I needed to do there. And then I also needed to go through and say, do I have enough pots? Do I have everything that I need for planting and starting the seeds? Do I need to go through? Do I need to clean them? How do they look? So I would go through and do that. Because I'm telling you, the gardening season's coming up quick, and when you're starting seeds, depending on what kind of seeds you're starting, will depend on when you start them. So if you're starting things like lettuce, any variety of lettuce, cabbage, broccoli, all of those kinds of things, you're going to want to start them pretty quick. You're anywhere from now until the end of the month. If you're starting things like your tomatoes and peppers and a few other things like that, you may want to wait a little bit longer because they're not as frost hardy. And so those are things to keep in mind. You also want to know when your estimated last frost date will be so that you know when to start them. And when you have a package of seeds like this, you'll flip them over to the back. And on the back, there's directions, and it will tell you. Like, for instance, these are Kentucky Wonder beans, and they are a pole bean. And it says on here it takes 6 to 8 days to germinate. Okay. So you want to look at that, and you want to say, okay, it takes 6 to 8 days. It gives you how many days to harvest? 66 days to harvest. And it says how deep to plant it, how far apart to plant it. It says how tall it is. It also gives you a rough little map here that tells you, depending on where in the country you are, will depend on what color, when you can have them planted. So for me, I live in Utah, so I'd be under blue, which means I could plant anywhere from late May to early June. You might live somewhere in, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and for there it would say, okay, early May to June. Say you live somewhere like Mississippi or Louisiana, it would be April through July. Say you live in like Florida or Arizona, it says that you plant March to August. So it just depends on where you live. And you can, every seed company is a little bit different on what they put on the backs of their seeds, but they're pretty similar. This one on the Kentucky pole beans, it's a Fairy Moore is the company. Whereas I've got a radish here, and it's Lily Miller. So it just depends on the seed company. I do also have some beans here that is Mountain Valley Seed Company, which is a local company here in Utah, which I really like to get a lot of my seeds from. But in addition to doing all of that, you want to be prepared, and I'm going to grab this container I put down here. Now, there are nicer ones that you can get of these seed starting trays, but I'm not the wealthiest person, so I just went to Walmart and got one of their seed starting trays. Your seed starting tray is going to have a top on it, like this, like a little dome, and then it's going to have these different rows and sections here. And then it's going to have the actual tray right here. And you can do one of two things. You could put water down in this tray to water your seeds as they're getting started, or you can take a spray bottle and just spray it. Either way, you put seed starting mix in here. And what I like to do, and I need to put new ones because this is from last year, is I put along here all of what I am planting in each row. So for here, I had California Wonder Peppers, and it was 2 rows of it. You can even do a stick or some type of a marker at the ends of it. However you choose to do it is totally fine. And it worked out really well for me last year. Everything that I planted in here popped up and grew, and I was very, very happy with it. So there's that. Another thing is you can plant them in pots like this. And you can stick plastic wrap over it and stick it under a light. That also works. You can also, this is what I did the very first year that I started doing this kind of stuff, is I made this. And this is just made out of a simple storage container. Let me pop these out and I'll show you. Just an inexpensive storage container that I got from the store. And what I did was I flipped it over and I made a whole bunch of holes in rows on the top. And then one on the side and one on this side. Then I opened it up and I stuck this cardboard in the bottom because it's not a very flat bottomed lid, which is okay. And I stick in my containers that have dirt and seeds in it. Now, as you can see, I've had to tape this container up, which means I need to do some replacing of these containers. They don't last forever. I've heard you can go online and you can buy better ones, but I just haven't taken the time or set some money aside to do that yet. But for now, I make it work. So I have my plants in here. Right now I've got basil and I've got cilantro that's popped up. My oregano hasn't popped up yet. I haven't had very good success with the oregano, but I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers. And I put this lid over it. And this acts as my little miniature greenhouse. I stick it right underneath this lamp. And I turn the light on. And I have the light pretty close to it. And it helps for some airflow. And I keep it moist. Not sopping wet, but just a little moist. And up pops my plants. The same thing will happen in my seed starting tray that I showed you just a few minutes ago. And then as the plants get bigger and bigger, I will pull this up so it's not nearly as close. That's why I like this lamp. It's just a simple table lamp, or desk lamp, I mean. And then eventually I will take the top off and I will transplant them either into a larger container like this or into my herb garden that I have over here. So those are some reasons why I'm bringing this to you now, so that you guys can get your gardens going. You know, if you've got things that are frost hardy that need to be going now for your spring garden, you need to get going and you need to get started. So I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope that you take advantage of going through and making a list. I'm really, really big about making a list. Helps me to remember what it is I need. And, you know, it also helps me to know where I'm planting them. Am I planting them at my in-laws? Am I planting them down below my porch? Are they going into a pot? Are they going to sit in my windowsill like my herbs do? I'm really excited for this upcoming garden season, and I'm excited to share the goods and the bads of my garden with you guys, and to teach and to learn from you as well. So I hope that this inspires you, and that you hit the subscribe down below and the bell notification to be notified of more upcoming videos, because I will, as it gets more into spring and summer, I will be doing garden tours. I'll be showing you our harvest and sharing with you what it is that I do. I deal with depression and anxiety, and just being in the garden helps me. It is like my sanctuary. If any of you have gardened or are into that, you probably understand. Even during the winter months, I have houseplants. I have my herbs growing, and it makes me happy. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and that you have fun looking at your seed catalogs or going into the stores and grabbing what it is that you want, and that you're excited, and that you enjoy growing your own food and enjoy eating it and enjoy sharing it with your friends and your family. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, my friends.